Hey guys, cool blonde way back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
We're back with Haikyuu. Especially high today.
Yeah.
Because it's season 4, episode 20. Ha ha ha. But yeah, we're fighting in Arizaki. Kageyama just had a no-touch ace. But a mysterious number 1 is being subbed in.
Yeah.
Who is going to turn the tide, I feel. Despite knowing nothing about him.
Oh, yeah. And last I saw, we were like 21-15, I think.
Yep, that's what I got.
Rough. It's pretty rough. But they could come back.
Yeah, I don't know. We will see. I'm curious about this number 1. And about his childhood. Why he plays volleyball. Which hopefully we will see.
I love this show because those are the sort of questions they answer.
Haha!
Well, what do you think about Kita?
Really cool. I think, predictability in a show is not a bad thing. It means it, establishes a pattern, and then it just executes that pattern well. So, before I joked we were going to see him as a child, and we did, because that's what makes the show great.
Yes!
It builds up our players, but also the opposing players, and
yeah.
Fleshes them out in a very quick amount of time, and shows how they all interact with one another, and
shows how they work.
Yeah.
They're not just the enemy. I can't stand shows that have the enemy and they're just the enemy. And there's no real good reason for them to be that way. It's are you even having fun being evil? It's terrible. But I love this show because it makes everybody I feel success for them too, even when Karasuno's losing. It's yes, he did the twist thing and such. And I want all of them to succeed. But I want us to win.
Yeah, for sure. That was just so touching seeing Kita get that jersey for the first time. And he just puts in the work and stays level-headed, and that's what allows him to succeed and puts him ahead. Especially in this level of play. I imagine that's more common in professionals, because that's the thing about mastery, right? It's not about being able to do the thing. It's about doing the thing
every time.
Yeah. Just being able to do it in any situation.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's if you can make that basketball shot from the main center position where they always do it from the free throw line and such. But if you can do it when at this weird angle and jumping from one foot and such, it's if you can do it no matter what position you're in or how tired you are, your muscles just respond correctly. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's funny, the way they talked about how, intimidating he was. It reminds me a lot of you. How it's he's not bouncing off of other people. He's just doing his routines, his thing. He's putting the work in. He's got his processes. And he's not he's watching other people, and he sees when they do things and such, and he sees those patterns. But he's not getting emotionally overwhelmed by other people's stuff.
No, I did feel some similarities, I thought.
And it's just funny that they would feel Kita is so incredibly intimidating and such a presence on the court, when it's you guys don't get him at all. It's they think he's a robot, and it's no.
No,
all that stuff's heck. Wow, which one of the conversations they had, it was one you and I have exactly had before. I think it was about the one where he was holding up the shirt and being is this just a side effect of my work and such?
A consequence.
Yeah, is this just a consequence? And I'm it's okay to be happy.
And not wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do fall into that a lot.
But it was really cool.
Nishinoya feeling fear for the first time.
I don't know if it's for the first time, because he did recognize it.
This is what fear feels like.
It's just been a while.
Ah, poor Nishinoya. I hope he is able to float through that.
Yeah.
Like, not have it haunt him.
Well, it's like I almost imagine someone that feels fear more would be more at ease with having that happen during a big game, just because, like, oh, this is a familiar process that I have to get myself through. And sometimes the people that everything comes more naturally to, it's like when they finally do hit a roadblock, it feels like a much bigger roadblock. So yeah, a little worried for Nishinoya, but he's got Asahi there to. and I don't care what Asahi says. He's good at it. Because what he says is being put through any translation efforts. It's just like he wants to make you feel better. And he's just like putting you in the loop with like, these are all the thoughts in my head.
Yeah, he can only be truthful.
Unfiltered.
He can't filter them or anything like that.
But that's a great thing to hear too, because like hearing him say like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put points. Like, you don't have to worry about me.
Yeah.
And like, I will do my thing, because it can feel pretty overwhelming when you're in that state of like,
And because the rest of it's unfiltered, you believe that to be true as well.
It is, yeah, it's absolutely, it's easy to appreciate and believe. Because sometimes if a person says things the right way, it doesn't feel as true because it's almost like too well written.
Yeah, I can see that. You need some stumbling.
Yeah. Especially from us.
Which, her team is stumbling. We lost the second set, so we're on to the final. Which I believe we will win.
But the show did a fantastic job into explaining us why things are going to be changed up this time.
Yeah.
And understanding like some more
strategy.
of the deeper strategy. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that. I love how they like, they explain it like the first way where it's like highly technical. And then she's like, so it's like, oh yeah, she put it in English. Good job. English meaning like a simpler, understandable language.
Sure.
Not necessarily like, our language.
Like I'm a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Explain it to me like I'm very young. Oh, but at the very end, it was pretty funny seeing Tsukki get territorial over good blocking.
Yeah.
Because he's generally like, the least amount of effort I can put into this and the most amount of sass talk I can do is like, this is what I'm in here for. This is what gives me life. Saying things that can break you down and not wearing myself out in the process. But him getting actually like a little when Tobio got that great block, it was like, I wonder what he's going to do next. He's going to be great.
Just a great episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I'm enjoying this match.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the battle of the trash can. But this one has been fun. And I think this episode helped a lot, giving us some perspective on one of their characters.
Yeah.
One of the team.
What did you think about that great line about people only get nervous when they're doing something abnormal?
I think that's true of people without anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a good perspective to have of like, you're feeling nervous because you're challenging yourself with something new. And like, that's a positive thing, not a negative thing. So trying to look at it in a positive light, I think is good. And also like reassuring yourself where, well, if you practice this thing enough, it will become routine. There's no reason to be worried about the routine.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a different setting, but we're doing the same things. And there's no reason to be worried about that because we've spent thousands of hours doing that thing.
As soon as he said that, I was brought back to when I was doing math tutoring at Washington State, because I had a lot of a lot of students that were coming back to college after so many years, like adults, like in their 30s, 40s sometimes. And like it was very hard for them, just for like to get back in that mindset of learning and such, and having to explain to them that like basically you're trying something different, you're doing something different, and it's okay that it feels bad or weird or something like that, but you do know how to do this. Like I remember there was one person that's like they were having the darndest time with just like basic like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division sort of stuff. And I asked them the exact same questions, but doing it in money, just using money terms. Like instead of saying 156, I'd say $1.56. And they were answering the questions instantly. I was like, you know this, see? And they were like, it's like, you're doing something normal, just in a slightly abnormal way. And that's why you're getting nervous, but the more you do this, the less nervous you'll get, and it'll feel natural to you.
Yeah, just making those neuron connectors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this was good. And
Wonderful episode. I can't wait for the next one.
We always say that. Here we are. We have to wait, but you do not. You can go over to blindwave.com and go beyond, getting up to the next 4 reactions right now of the show, which I feel like is gonna get us pretty close to the end of this season. We're getting there. This is 420.
Oof, so, my word.
Yeah.